I have one more question again. Uh, there are a lot of incubators already there in the market, and I'm still wondering why I should pay you money. It's okay, I'm already expert. I know what I have to do. But why I should pay you money? I don't know what I will get from you. I'm not sure that I will get something from you or not.
This is a question that will be asked by many people in the market, and I'm pretty sure and I'm fully prepared to answer this question. Day in and day out, I'm actually, the best part what I'm doing right now is given the system that I have, Disruptive Incubation-As-A-Service, I myself I'm trying to sell the system to myself. So I'm trying to become a self-practitioner where I'm trying to incubate myself under this Disruptive Incubation-As-A-Service. First thing. Then the next step would be to actually cross-sell to my partner. Okay, and my partner cross-sells to me. So I'm selling to myself, then I sell to my partner, and then I sell to my close network, and this is how I move on. When I sell to myself, that is self-practitioner. As a self-practitioner, I'm actually trying to understand and test the system in the initial stages. And the most important point that I was mentioning earlier also is that, incubation is there in the market. I totally agree. I admit there might be, incubation centers where people are actually training, mentoring people, maybe hand-holding them actually, okay? But it's very rare to find a scenario where you understand the problems of the incubatee, okay? And then find a context-aware solution or a context-dependent solution. And this is where I would like to discuss about contextual programming and complex event processing. Now, these two subject matter are actually related to hardcore computer science. But let me bring this into this particular context and explain from the standpoint of hybrid human-machine-based computation model, where with the involvement of human and machine, I'm trying to solve the problem. And I'm not talking about writing a program for doing this actually at the initial stage. So what I'm trying to say is, let us assume that what is the context in which I'm going to sell this, or for that matter, do the marketing for my Disruptive Incubation-As-A-Service. And that's a very important point. To understand the context, you have to know that the context is marketing and sales of Disruptive Incubation-As-A-Service. And in this context, we have to understand what are the entities that are involved. So first and foremost, anybody in the market would understand is the real assets. But those are non-live entities. Okay. Then physical assets, they are again non-live entities. And all of these are tangible entities. Okay. So they don't play any role. They are not actors in this context. To further extend the concept of contextual programming, I would say that I will specifically capture the attributes holistically of all those entities which are live entities and which are tangible. Having said that, I will capture the overall attributes of basically a potential incubatee, a potential incubator, investee, investor, potential. Okay, and then I'll be capturing the attributes of intermediaries and also the general public, the primary potential customer in the market. And then I will try to build a context and understand on this particular on this particular matter, what is the scale and based on that particular scale, how am I actually going to assign priority to whom to sell first, even if I'm doing the concept selling or concept marketing. So I actually, by virtue of my experience from last 10 years, where I have been doing this as, kind of incubatees where they are remote incubatees or off-site incubatees. So I will be actually starting with customers who are actually not connected to my domain, firstly. Having said that, I will move away from my competitors. And then I will try and sell my system to potential incubatees only, that too, who are not actually, very intelligent customers. But having said that, my focus initially would be people who are budding entrepreneurs or people who are actually still a part of the academia, people who are actually trying to become entrepreneurs by choice or even by compulsion, and not people who are, half-witted or basically half-literate, or people who are actually, they actually, are experienced as employees. I will not target them. So having said that, I initially have a large, set to handle. So based on my contextual programming, I will actually pick up those people and then target them to make them understand that technology is something, this disruptive incubation as a service is a technology or a service which actually makes your life simple from the standpoint of new product development, new product innovation, on the standpoint of marketing and sales, licensing, every activity that actually gets you in the market in the best possible way and actually helps you in generating revenue. That's my target. I also understand that there is an equation that I discussed in my previous, discussion. You can refer to my channel where I said that the materiality, mind you, materiality and relevancy of a buyer, or the buyability, the buying potential, the buyership of a buyer in the context of disruptive incubation or service, or for that matter any other product, service and solution, is inversely proportional to the subject matter expertise of that particular customer or potential client. The more the customer is smart, in terms of, by smart I actually don't mean that I want to specifically target dumb customers, or I want to pass on a statement which is a kind of racist statement. I'm trying to differentiate. Not that. In this particular context, it actually means a smart customer is if I am making or and selling a product, solution or service which is dealing with a particular technology domain, I would not like to target people who are at par with me, above me, or even as my subordinates or peers, my friends, family members, colleagues, relatives. I would not like to target them first. Okay, if at all they are all at my same level. To be more specific, I would not like to target people who are domain specific, subject matter expert, either theorist or practitioner in that particular domain, because they are my competitors, even if they are not in the game of doing business. And that's not the right way of selling initially. So initially I'm targeting people who are primary customers, and there is a large base, to make them understand that this technology is something that makes life simple and not complex, and make them understand that this is going to benefit you. Then I will move on from these kind of customers to people who are domain specific, agnostic, subject matter experts, theorists or practitioners. Okay, the reason I'm doing this is, if you are selling something, marketing something, let's say a product, service or solution, either you do it over the internet, or it's an online market, or you do in a kind of brick and mortar or click and brick model, where you actually have a shop front and you are selling. There are three types of confusion that actually arises. The first one is initial interest confusion, okay, and the second one is point of sale confusion. The third is post sales confusion. And these confusions, actually they are unavoidable. The initial interest confusion is like before buying, how smart you are. If you are actually a domain specific subject matter expert, theorist or practitioner, or you are a person skilled in the art, or even person having ordinary skill in the art, then you will be in a mode of questioning. You'll keep on questioning. So initially, that's not a good strategy for me, because I end up investing my capital and my manpower in actually convincing you when it is hard for me to convince initially. And also in the process, I'm actually transferring my knowledge to you. If you are at par with me or above par with me, the likelihood that you go and start your own company is very high. I understand that there is a way that I can actually protect that, my IP and knowledge, That's true, but I'm not coming to that in detail right now. My focus is, if at all I will be selling, I'll be only selling to people who are general customers, because they may be experts in their domain, and they may not be experts in my domain. And if at all they are incubatees, I will make them understand the benefits of this system as an incubator. And this system is Disruptive Incubation-As-A-Service. I mentioned about different phases which are being, followed here in the entire process of incubation. And the likelihood that the initial interest confusion will be on the lower side, relative, vis-a-vis a customer who is, a domain agnostic or specific expert, subject matter expert in my domain. Okay, so now the point is, how to do the sales. This is one simple example how I'm going to handle marketing and sales as a service for all my incubatees. The point of sale confusion actually creeps in after initial interest confusion. Okay, and then later is post-sales confusion. All these things have to handle in a very different way. And it's not like, it's a child's play. So there might be people who may be questioning me a lot on this actually, why I should be your incubatee, why I should pay money to you. I have a lot of answers to those questions, and you can subscribe to my channel and then keep listening to me. I have a lot of things for free to offer. Thank you.